Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can set up your VMware for your Ubuntu 2020 to have a static IP address. The reason why you would need that is, let's say if you have a separate computer apart from this base computer, you have another computer that needs to talk to your virtual machine, or maybe a Raspberry Pi that needs to talk to a virtual machine on this computer. You will need that static IP address that's pointed to the same network or intranet as this computer. So let's get started. I'm gonna open up a VM Workstation 16 player. So and this is the image I've been working on. We'll be working on Ubuntu 20.04, and let's launch this session here. And let's have a quick look at, just as a baseline, we want to have a quick look at what the IP address is of this machine here, right? The VM. You can see is 192.168.138.147 right there, right? ENS33 is the Ethernet port or the handle that we will be using. So on this base computer, of course, you are able to ping this machine. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if I go command, and if I were to make it a bit smaller so it doesn't cover the whole screen, and if I were to ping that same IP address 147, it is able to communicate. But the problem is not, this is not the problem. The problem is that, let's say if you have another computer on the same network that you need to ping this guy here, yeah, you need to be in the same network. So my home network would be this. If I go IP config on my base computer, I can see that my home network IP address, the subnet, is 192.168.50, right? That's my subnet of this network. So I'm going to change this IP address on this machine to be VMware to be the same subnet. So first and foremost of all, you have to go player, go remove device, and network adapter. And you're going to have to change it to net, this guy here, net, vmnet 8. Right, so vmnet 8 is your interface to the outside world. Let me show you how this can get connected. Go to your command prompt here and type Ethernet, Ethernet settings, and open up network and sharing center right here. I'm gonna close this guy here, and then go change adapter setting. And you can see that vmnet 8 is available for you on our external network. But if you look at your vmnet 8 here, by default your vmnet 8 is 192.168.138.1. so this one has to be pointing to your home network subnet here of this, right? So if I double click this guy here, go in here, and then go to IPv4, and I'm gonna assign the same subnet as my home, right? So I'm gonna be 1, or you can assign anything, 155 for the matter of fact, right? Depending on the range on your router. And then go 192.168.50.1. So this allows you to sort of act as a gateway from your VM out that way. So if you go OK, just say yes, because it says multiple gateways defined, because it's sort of a gateway to yourself, right? So if I were to do IP config here, you can see that the vmnet 8 is in the same subnet as this computer itself, right? So on this VMware settings here, so I'm just going to clear this guy up here. On this VMware settings here, you want to put the vmnet 8 and click OK. So once that's done, it does its own little thing and resets the adapter, you can see. And then after that, you're going to have to make some changes to the configuration so that DHCP is disabled on this VM. So on this one here, you'll want to navigate to etc/netplan, and in here there's one YAML file that you're going to have to modify. You're going to have to be a super user, and I'm going to use a text editor called nano followed by the file name. Hit enter, and in here you're going to have to type the following. So we are working with ENS33. We're gonna delete the DNS by Control K, well, at least that's in Nano. If you have other tools or other editors, you can use that way. So addresses, and then in here you're gonna specify the IP address that you want to assign, a static IP address, say 192.168.50. Now it's in our subnet, and I'm gonna call this say 147/24. Okay, that covers the masking. And after that, the gateway for my home would be gateway 4, and then it's going to be 192.168.50.1, right? Yours could be different. So gateway, and then followed by name servers, and in this name servers, you're gonna have to apply some addresses so they can find it. So a common way to do would be to assign a Google DNS IP address, which is 8.8.8.8, comma, and on the second option as a secondary name server or DNS, I like to put my own home router address so that it's not lost in translation, right? So that's version 2 here. You don't really need it, but I'm just gonna keep it. I'm going to put it on top here. So it's going to be version 2 Ethernet, and followed by the Ethernet device ENS33 addresses, IP address that you want to assign to this VM /24, which is your subnet mask, and gateway 4 192.168.50, and that's my gateway for my home router, name servers, and then followed by address, the Google DNS server, and my router. So over here in Nano, I press Ctrl X to exit, save yes, and you can see it's done. So just to check, if you go cat, just to see what you have entered, this is what you should be seeing. So now to apply these changes, what you're gonna have to do is again enter as a super user, netplan, apply. It looks like it doesn't do anything at all, it just comes to the command prompt, but it has done something, right? So now at this moment, if you try pinging 192.168.50.147, you know, it will start responding, right? If it does not respond, right, because this is your computer, what I'm going to do is this, just to show that it's actually talking to this device. If it's not responding, you're going to have to reboot your VMware. So the command to reboot would be sudo reboot, right? Hit enter. You can see as it goes through the rebooting cycle, you can see that the ping command start to drop off because the server or the VMware is down. So I'm just gonna let the VM for the Ubuntu 2020 to come up here shortly. As soon as it comes up, my ping messages will come in again. Okay, as you can see that the Ethernet port on the VM has initialized and is powered up and it's ready to go, right? It's coming up with responses. So I'm gonna try to log in here again onto the VM here, and if I go IP ADDR, you can see that the new IP address, that static IP address that I've assigned, 192.168.50.47, is actually assigned to this VM. Now you should be able to talk to the outside world. If this tutorial was helpful, please like and subscribe. Other than that, you have a good day. Bye now.